So good morning, everybody. Thank you for your time today. Steven, how are you?
I'm fine, man. I'm fine.
Perfect. Thank you, Steven, for the invitation today. I don't know if you want to say a welcome message, and after that, we can start with the webinar, okay?
Yeah, I'll do a welcome message, but do you have any customers? I don't see any customers.
Yes, we have around 8,
7
9
people.
attendants. Yes, that's
Okay,
right.
I guess we can start. I'll do the intro.
Mhm.
Apologies for the Lenovo shirt. No, it wasn't done deliberately. Hi, Cindy.
Hi, how are you, Steven?
Yeah, I never met Augustina the third. That's how you pronounce his name?
No, in this case, it's Jose. I'm just acting like Agostino.
Yeah, he's
Okay,
using
It's the
It's a
owner
Agostino's
of the.
marketing
account.
department. It's a marketing
Yeah,
department.
Jose Villar, Steven. Nice to meet you.
okay.
Perfect.
Yes,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
Well, thank you for your time today, guys. Thanks for the invitation and for your time today. For us, it's an honor to have you as a guest. And today we're going to talk about Connect. So, where we have an overview of Aruba Network's wireless solutions to complement with the protect and manage in later sessions. So, Cindy, you can go ahead with the presentation. So let's start with the second slide. So Cindy will be our expert today. Cindy, welcome. If you like, tell us who is Aruba Networks, okay?
Sure, thank you, Oscar. So the session is comprised of 3 parts, and these 3 parts we're going to be giving them throughout different days. So today is session number 1, and we're going to be focusing on the connect part of the technology. So particularly access points. And then stay tuned for our next sessions, which is going to be session number 2, which is protect, everything to do with security, how to protect your network. And lastly, session 3 has to do with managing your network with Aruba Networks. So this is sort of like the structure we were going to have for these different webinars along with Promotech. So I hope you can all join us for the next sessions as well. Okay, so a little bit about who Aruba is if you're new to Aruba. Let me start by telling you a little bit about us. We started with a next generation Wi-Fi solution and complemented our portfolio organically, as well as with a number of strategic acquisitions that we have done across the years to address different complexities like bring your own device, application performance, cloud networking, IoT, zero trust security, and location services. So we started off in 2002, but then we joined forces with our parent company in 2015, which is HPE, to deliver end-to-end wireless and a wired portfolio as well that extends all the way from the data center onto the cloud and the edge. Since then, we've introduced technologies like SD-WAN, AI operations, seamless 5G to Wi-Fi roaming, application performance monitoring, and lately with COVID-19, contact tracing. And our intent to acquire Silver Peak was announced back in July 13, 2020, and that acquisition has been solidified. So this in turn solidifies our leadership in the core networking space. In fact, our team's efforts have delivered numerous awards, like, for example, being a leader in Gartner's Magic Quadrant for 15 years now, And last year we were named #1 in 6 out of 6 categories in Gartner's Critical Capabilities report for wired and wireless. We are a leader in mid-sized business data center switching and an SE branch solution. We have an SE branch solution that was named one of the 5 hottest software-defined products in 2020 by CRN. And we also have a TAC organization that was recognized by IDC for global support responsiveness. So even when you have a technical issue or you need support, with Aruba, you're all covered because of our amazing TAC organization. So these moves and our customer first, customer last commitment gave customers the ability to partner with us to deliver a breadth of new services that extend from the edge to the cloud for wireless, wired, and even WAN solutions. And then a little bit about what our technology is about. Our technology is all about addressing network challenges that our customers have. So to put you all in context, let's talk about these network challenges, particularly at the edge. And in Aruba, the edge, what it means is that the edge is basically where users connect and interact with the network. So #1, it still takes a human to detect, diagnose, and fix issues in the network. And most networks are managed in silos and rely on too many tools to manage across wired, wireless, WAN. Typically, you need a different system to manage all of these parts in your network, and it becomes complicated. In fact, 64% of IT organizations use 4 or more network management tools. And multiple research shows that 60 to 70% of network tasks are still manual, and 60% of Wi-Fi admins still use packet capture as their primary troubleshooting tool. And 70% of the IT's time is spent trying to resolve these issues. Another sort of challenge that our customers have is in terms of security. And security and network teams still use manual processes to ID devices and static configurations. They use static configurations like access lists, VLANs to segment traffic for IoT devices. In fact, 80% of IT organizations found IoT devices on their network that they did not install and did not recognize on their network. So clearly, IoT devices are becoming more of a trend, and we're not protected for when we have these devices on our network. So that's also an issue that our customers find they have. And of course, lastly, the global pandemic. This created unprecedented economic and resource problems. 71% of IT budgets are running that we have are dedicated to running the business, not to actually improving the technology that the IT departments are using. So clearly, legacy networks can't keep up with all of these challenges. But we at Aruba, we have an architecture that we want to use to help our customers address all of these issues. So in fact, we have been doing it for a long time now, like we did when we first rolled out an architecture that we used to call the Aruba Mobility First architecture. It's now evolved for this new era into what we call Aruba ESP. And Aruba ESP is the industry's first AI-powered cloud-native platform, and it's designed to unify and protect the edge where the customers or the users interact. So Aruba ESP has 4 core attributes that will enable your organization to address these issues. From the bottom layer to the top, the first one is unified infrastructure. So this allows your organization to eliminate those operational silos and streamline your operations by unifying operations across wired, wireless, SD-WAN, campus branch, everything that you'll have in the network, you'll be able to unify that and manage it from a single pane of glass that we call Aruba Central. And then the second layer is zero trust security, which allows your organization to simplify the task of securing your network. This is by eliminating the need for configuring static, cumbersome things like access lists at every hop in your network. And then lastly, AI operations. AI is a hot topic right now, and here at Aruba, we have an industry-leading team that has been implementing artificial intelligence and machine learning in our systems to help you sort of have a sixth sense when it comes to managing your network. You'll be able to resolve issues faster and intuitively thanks to the analytics. And all of this is given to you as a service. So this allows our customers tremendous flexibility in how they consume and pay for the technology, because we know that IT budgets are getting more and more cut, especially with COVID. So we want to help our customers get the right technology so they can accomplish their goals, but also have a flexible way to consume these technologies. So the bottom layer translate in infrastructure, which is what we're going to focus on today, which is where the access points, the switches, everything that is physical and helps you connect your users to the network. And then the rest of the layers we're going to get into in future sessions. So please make sure you attend the future sessions to see what it's all about.
Thank you, Cindy, for that great introduction for Aruba Central. So as I explained it before, today's session is going to cover the first step to architecting a modern networking platform for the edge, and we call that Connect. So for many years, Cindy, users and their devices have been connected to Wi-Fi using the IP protocol. I think nowadays we have teams that need to connect to the network as well, but teams don't connect to the network at the way that users do. So teams are using more than 300 different wireless radio technologies to get to their traffic onto the network. So I think there is a challenger. So how is Aruba addressing that changing wireless infrastructure and customer current needs?
Yeah, well, as you know, deploying and managing each of these 300 things that you mentioned in a silo would create a management nightmare. So we've unified connectivity onto a single platform, which is the Aruba Wi-Fi6 AP. So with Aruba APs, we support commonly used IoT device protocols, including Bluetooth and Zigbee. And for other protocols, our APs provide a USB port through which an IoT device gateway can be added. So to unify and simplify IoT connectivity, we're able to increase the time to value for IoT and reduce operational complexity and time to resolution. So this means that the AP is no longer just an AP. It's now a center for connectivity of all of these different things. And the best part is that you can manage it easily with Aruba Central.
Okay, that's perfect to know that the AP is the single point of access to your network now from the edge. And another issue in the industry is, for years and across the networking industry, IT organizations have been forced to use different APs architecture for the campus APs versus the branch or remote worker APs. So usually they will deploy a wireless controller-based architecture for the campus and a controller-less architecture for their branch office. I think this create a complexity in the networks and siloed operation for the end user or for the IT department. So how does Aruba Network address these issues, or what may different Aruba from those typical silos architecture or vendors?
Well, in the intelligent era, as we call it in Aruba, complexity creates delays and downtimes in your network. So we decided to unify our Wi-Fi onto one single software architecture. So that means that with Aruba, you can deploy any AP, any Aruba AP anywhere, and manage it all in the same way for the same location, for different types of locations. So the same hardware can be deployed in a controller-less architecture for smaller sites, or you can have a full campus architecture with a controller, and it can be managed both in the cloud or on-prem. So when you're buying an Aruba IP, you don't have to make a harsh decision of, well, do I buy this model of AP that only supports the cloud management, or should I buy this other model that I can only manage on-prem? With Aruba, you can buy one model, one AP, and you can, along the way, maybe change your strategy. Maybe first start with an on-prem management and then embrace the cloud. You know, a lot of our customers went through it with COVID, where their solution of choice was on-prem, but because everybody was remote, it was just easier to move to the cloud, and they were able to do that with our APs because of that flexibility.
Great, thank you, Cindy. I hope I'm not being too basic with my questions, but I come from the industry where everything is complex and I need a license for everything I do in my network. So, for example, if I need to go to the bathroom, I need a license to go to the bathroom for 3 years. Okay, just kidding. But I need a license to use the wireless solution or these features?
No, don't worry. You don't need licensing to use your own APs. I mean, you bought them, so unless you would like to manage them with our cloud solution or on-prem solution, of course that would require additional licensings. But let's say your licensing expires, you still have basic access to your APs. They're still your own. You should be able to configure it so you don't lose config. 'Cause let's say if you were to buy an Aruba IP, and along with an Aruba IP, you would acquire our Aruba Central management license, which is the cloud solution that we have. Unlike with other vendors, if you end up not paying your subscription, you won't lose configuration on those APs. They will keep the last known configuration that was working, and you'll be able to access those APs via a traditional graphic interface or CLI and be able to make changes there manually. You won't have access to the cloud solution to do maintenance and monitoring, that sort of thing, but your APs are still your own. So no, there's no additional licensing, no hidden costs.
Hi, Cindy. I have another question for you. What about third-party devices? Can I be able to view them under the Aruba Central management platform?
Um, Unfortunately, no. The Aruba Central management platform is only for Aruba devices, but we do have an on-prem solution called Airwave that supports third-party devices. So for customers that have a mixed environment, they're usually very attracted to Airwave because of that option. And they can usually what happens is that they get Airwave and they onboard their Aruba equipment along with their other third-party equipment. And then in a couple of years, they find that they love the Aruba product and they end up moving over with us. But no, to answer,
Okay.
short answer, no, Aruba Central
Oh,
is Aruba only.
okay, thank you. Yeah, participants, feel free to ask Cindy any questions. You know, we have, you could say, the key people for HP Aruba Caribbean here on this call. You know, if you have any projects, anything you want to, have a demo, have a look and feel of the Aruba Central, we can reach out to any of your promote account managers, and we can organize that. All right, back over to you, Cindy.
Thank you. So Oscar,
Sorry, I was on mute. In the other side of the edge, we have the switches. What about the wired devices, just like the switches? Should we forget about them, talking about the wireless access and this digital transformation for the end user devices?
no, of course not. A lot of people think that we only sell APs because we're so known for our wireless technology. But the truth is that we also bring our vision and technology to the wired area.
Okay, that's great because a wired device also serves as a platform for the user and IoT connectivity. For example, the bandwidth hungry of IoT devices, such as security camera or PoE power devices, still to connect to the switch. So how Aruba address this issue of many devices requesting a lot of the bandwidth and PoE budget from the network?
Yeah, we solved that. So we came out with this new line of switches a couple of years ago, which is called Aruba Oscx, and it's the first operating system that works from the wiring closet to the campus core and into the data center. So you have a cloud native CX platform that can be updated without losing power or PoE power for IoT devices. It can validate configurations before implementing them, and you can roll back to previous configs with a single click should a problem arise. So with one operating system across your data center, your edge, your access layer, your branches, your team will be able to use a single tool that can unify and improve efficiency of how your IT team works. So usually it's in silos. For the data center, we use this model of switches, which has a different management system. For the access layer, maybe we have unmanaged switches, or we have switches that use another system to monitor or do anything with it. With Aruba, that's over. You have the same OS with the same capabilities across all of the layers of the network, and you have the benefits of this operating system that has all of this new technology.
Perfect. Just to all the participants, did you have any questions? You have the Q&A tab in the WebEx tools, or also you have the chat. Just if you have anything, just let on us, okay? So talking about the unified connectivity, and for today, I think organization or most of organization connect to the cloud using a combination of MPLS or cellular or broadband connection. So I see another issue here is for the management and to create the quality of service across all these links. So cloud-based application perform at their best for the connectivity. So that can be complex and can consume our time from the IT department. So Aruba have a solution for these challenges at the brand locations?
Yes, in fact, we do. We've unified that using the same architecture found in our APs actually. So in doing this, we can balance the load across all the links so that when one link fails, we automatically fail over to another link. We can prioritize traffic based on applications being used, like Skype for Business. And we can locate and use closest point of presence for a web-based application and automatically steer users to that instance. So yeah, we also have technologies in order to connect your branches and optimize those WAN links.
That's perfect. So just to wrap up before we talk about the AP hardware in detail and how Aruba does Aruba Central tie in all that technology that Aruba has to offer.
So thus far, we've unified protocols onto Aruba APs. We've unified our AP architecture across campus and branch. We've unified our switching architecture from closet to core to data center. And we've also unified our branch to cloud connectivity. But to really streamline your operations and eliminate that siloed management that we've been talking about, you really need the cloud. And I'll tell you why you need the cloud. So according to Gartner's 2020 strategic roadmap for enterprise networking, only 15% of all organizations use cloud-based network management, but that is expected to grow to 50% by 2025. And a lot of that is due to COVID-19 and how it's changing the way we work and how we interact with our environment. So we started this project to achieve this sort of connectivity as far back as 2014 with a cloud native platform. And that's in the form of Aruba Central. So Aruba Central has microservices for service elasticity. We have a unified data lake for cross-domain event correlation and AI modeling. And we topped it with an easy-to-use single pane of glass that we call Aruba Central. And we unify the operations in the cloud. So that allows you to eliminate those siloed operations. You can access a new as-a-service and on-demand consumption model. And you'll benefit from the increased resiliency since the availability is owned, maintained, and delivered by a large organization that is Aruba.
Hey, Cindy, just a quick question. What about security? Cloud and security is always a topic that, customers bring up. Are you going to be talking about security as well today?
Yes, today, no,
Okay.
but on the next session, we
Okay, no
can
problem.
definitely get into security. I know that's a concern from risk customers, and believe me, we're on top of our game with that, with your zero trust security. But that's something that I would like to tease for the next session. So we're moving all of these services to the cloud. So that way we can increase feature velocity by allowing you to adapt to changing business requirements more rapidly. And we eliminate the need for on-prem wireless LAN controller, even in larger scale environments with this technology.
Talking about now the APs or the access point, what kind of APs Aruba offers for the market? Do you have outdoor or ruggedized APs?
Yes, in fact, we have different types of APs that are suitable for different environments. So we have the indoor APs, which are suitable for carpeted spaces, campus environments, such as schools, hospitals, public venues in some cases. We also have the hardened APs, which are for certain type of harsh environments. And we also have our outdoor APs for outdoor spaces, open area venues. There's also a hazardous version of our outdoor APs for mining environments or environments that are very industrial and require that harsh environment protection. And we also have special APs made for hospitality.
Hospitality. I think that devices have Ethernet ports or something like that. What is special about this hospitality display?
Well, it's a purpose-built combination of hardware and software that perfectly addresses the security management, installation, and control changes of work from home and hospitality environments. So Aruba features a wide range of form factors and capabilities based on the need for features like additional ports, PoE, physical packaging, amongst other things. So for example, from the hospitality perspective, the extra Ethernet points in the bottom that you see, for example, on the AP505H that's on the top right part of the screen. Those extra Ethernet ports are very practical for in-room installation in hotels, since they can be used to connect IPTV systems, IP phones, and other devices that need wired connectivity in the room. Now, from a remote worker or work from home perspective, compared to using home or consumer-based wireless technology, Aruba remote access points are enterprise-grade hardware and software, which combine high levels of security and ease of management to deliver a corporate experience at your home.
So that means that for the user working from home, they will have the same experience as working at the main office or at the school?
Yes, so once the wrap is installed, and in Aruba we call a remote AP wrap for short, once it's installed, the corporate SSID can be broadcast to the home, and all the services that are available in the office or at school are available using that access point, as well as the corporate security policies. So even solutions like VDI or voice over IP communications are seamlessly supported along with protected access to local peripherals such as a printer. So from a network's operations standpoint, the wraps and their connected devices are also visible and can be managed by the corporate IT team. So that gives you more the ability to secure anything the user connects on their home to your corporate network.
Yeah, so just to add to what Sydney is explaining, so we have a vertical of different customers on the call. So if you are running an application that you know I'm very concerned about this being around at home, the connectivity, you know, how do I get a better visibility on it? This particular access point can work for that application. For you, the IT managers too, and the systems administrators, it's very simple. It's not that complicated. You know, we just configure it and it goes just like that. That's another advantage of using the Aruba solution. And again, if you're looking at any projects, it may not be ready at this point, but you're looking for switching gear, please give us a call. You have advantages for, as our score is explaining about digitization transformation and how people communicate with their networks. In other words, these guys are cloud ready. They're not cloud ready just because it's COVID. They've been cloud ready for a very long time. Aruba is very mature in this space. Um, I know the approach to adopting technology, you know, you go with the Cisco access points, the Ubiquiti access points, you know, the other guys, but when you look at switching gear, then you have to have a different brand switching gear. It can get a hybrid and very complex to manage. So as you can see with Aruba, the guys take care straight from the data center to the endpoint. I know the endpoint slash working from home as well. So if you are looking at having any deeper conversations on any future projects, please reach out to us. You can continue, Cindy.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. So as you can see, we have a broad portfolio, including remote APs, which we had mentioned, that these are specifically optimized for hybrid work environments, as you already heard. And as a fun fact, our APs were the first to go to market with Wi-Fi 6.
And just to complement that, and talking about the Wi-Fi 6, Wi-Fi 6, let's say, is the new era. And I love Wi-Fi 6 because we can have multiple advantage, just like high throughput, reduce the delay and jitter, let's say, peak client data rates, some protocol efficiency improvements, and adding more QAM to the network. So also multiple users capability allow to have parallel access for many client devices, and we support until 9.6 gigabits per second in the wireless solution now. So now that I think about it, if we can support up to 9.6 gigabits per second in the access point, how will that affect my wired network, Cindy? If my switches only supports ports of 1 gigabit, will it be a bottleneck in my network?
No, that's not a problem. There's an IEEE standard for the IEEE standard for multi-gigabit delivers both high speed and power for Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 5 APs while using the existing Cat 5e and Cat 6 wiring. So you won't need to rip and replace your expensive cabling, because with Aruba, we have a technology that's called HP Smart Rate. So our APs and our switches have these multi-gig copper ports that are very flexible because they support speeds from 1 gig, 2.5, 5 gig, and up to 10 gig. So it's flexible for your APs, your switches to deliver that speed. And to top it off, our access points actually have an extra port that supports smart rate. So even if a customer buys an Aruba AP and they still don't support multi-gig speeds, let's say, their investment is protected because they already have the multi-gig port to support those multi-gig upgrades in the future.
Yeah. Just to add on to Cindy, basically having a future-proof investment. So you won't have to worry about changing any hardware in the future. And also too, one thing too in trends, endpoint devices, they're getting smaller. And when they're getting smaller, it means that, you can't have an Ethernet port on a 13-inch laptop, because the advancements in Wi-Fi, network administrators won't have to worry about any latency connecting to any applications that require, high gigabit bandwidth capabilities. So, in a nutshell, this is the type of conversation and education that we're giving all guys this morning, So you have to worry about, oh, I got to do rewiring, I got to do this, Aruba, they have it straight with the box, Yeah, back to you, Cindy.
Thank you, Stephen. So just to wrap up, I want to give you a little bit of stats of how Aruba is rocking the market and helping the customers have the best Wi-Fi out there. Our wireless solutions are backed by 2 decades of leadership and continuous innovation. And our key differentiators, which we mentioned in today's talk, are number 1, seamless connectivity. Number 2, a cloud native management that's available for your equipment. And flexible deployment. The customer decides how he wants to deploy his or her infrastructure. And a little bit of numbers here. We have over 100,000 global customers. We have sold over 1 million Wi-Fi 6 APs as of date. We have number 1 in 6 key use cases in the Gartner's studies. We have a 4.7 out of 5 stars customer choice rating, and we have over 2K partner branded support and delivery partners. So we have a whole environment of customers in all verticals, so we can help you really find what is best for your network and help you sort of have building blocks onto modernizing your network for these upcoming challenges that we talked about at the beginning of the call.
Well, thank you very much, Cindy, for such great presentation and for answering all my questions. Steven, I can give you the time just to open your mic and
Yes.
invite all the attendees if they have any extra questions. They are welcome.
Well, we don't have. I'm not seeing any questions coming up in the chat.
Sorry, Steven, to interrupt. So, thank you guys for joining. I just want to mention real quick that at the end of this call, we'll make a raffle for an Amazon e-gift card. So please please look at your email. We will let know Steven who will be the winner of that Amazon gift card, and we will send the email to you guys. Okay.
Awesome. So you get to possibility to win a gift card.
Yes, please. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Oscar and Cindy for hosting today's event. We have 2 other events following this, one on February 26th, and the next one is on March the 12th. No, we are in national pause in Barbados. You know, COVID-19 is kind of shaping every business in every way and how they do business. And it come at a point in time with the digital transformation strategy too as well. So we all know that technology would be one of the main ways that we battle this COVID-19 pandemic. And I know a lot of companies out there, IT guys are being asked questions, how are we going to remain efficient? How are we going to be stay protected? You know, who's doing what out there? So what we've decided at Promotech is that we're going to be hosting numerous webinars over this period in the coming months. This particular webinar is with Aruba. We know with the shift that's happening out there worldwide, that it's only a matter of time, you know, where we got to start asking ourselves real business questions. So the reason for this is when you start being asked these real business questions, I want you to know that Promotech and HP Aruba, we have the answers. You know, wireless is a headache. If you don't start out right, you know, it can become a headache. And anything that a business makes an investment, you know, you're looking to get at least a good 2 or 3 years out of it. You know, at a glance here, Aruba, when you make this investment, you're looking at 3-5 years. These guys have been in cloud for a while. You know, as you can see from the stats that you shared with us today. So yes, again, I encourage you reach out to any of your account managers. You can see the strength Promotech has with Aruba. So if you have any technical questions, if you want any assistance design an RFP, if you're planning any major hardware changeouts, you know, give us a call. You know, we offer bid pricing too as well. You know, we also offer if you don't want to have a capex, we also offer OpEx options too as a finance options for our solutions. You know, we just want to ensure, you know, that how you adopt any technology going forward, that Promotech and Aruba will take you and keep you protected during this COVID pandemic. You know, I was surprised when I saw that device that has the additional network ports. I mean, that specific application was for hospitality, but no, that sits in a remote, in a work from home application too as well. So there's no need to worry about security now, although the machine's not physically on your network. Once you have that access point and using the Aruba Central, you would have that good night's rest, not to worry about, if something happens, if there's a breach, how can I protect my network, you don't have to go to the box and create all these different silos, Does anyone have any questions at all?
I think from Malcolm have a question. He's asking if is upgrading the Aruba Wi-Fi 6 as simple as switching out the AP from the network. I think that yes. I think that yes. He's asking if for upgrade to the Wi-Fi 6 portfolio is as simple like just switch out the AP from the Wi-Fi 6 to the Wi-Fi 5.
Yeah, unless you have how do I say it, like a switch that doesn't comply with PoE plus or PoE, you can definitely switch out your Wi-Fi 5 or Wi-Fi 4 APs for a Wi-Fi 6 AP, and you will see the benefits, because the thing about Wi-Fi 6 that surprised me most when it came out, when this new amendment of the Wi-Fi protocol came out, was that it encompasses the 2.4 gig band, which is realistically where most of our devices are still connecting. Because in the past, IEEE had been trying to get us to move to the 5 gig band, but realistically, we're still using the 2.4 gig band, which is heavily saturated. So Wi-Fi 6, they're acknowledging that, and they're using technology and improvements in the protocol so that 2.4 gig band works even better. It can accommodate more devices more efficiently. So I would definitely consider moving up to Wi-Fi 6.
Perfect. Thank you, Cindy.
Also too, we have this presentation recorded, so we will be sending it out to the attendees for those who were unable to make it today. And I know everyone is probably saying, they're having a lot of questions asking participants and seeing the other participants. This platform, it keeps everything private, and if that's just what the platform is, so don't worry about it. If you have any questions, reach directly out to us. What about, I have a question here asking about how can customers strengthen their infrastructure using Aruba hardware and Aruba Central?
How can customers what? Sorry?
Strengthen their infrastructure.
Strengthen?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I guess that would have gone back to your second or third slide where you show the entire data center to endpoint ecosystem, the Aruba ecosystem. Today's conversation was directly towards Wi-Fi, but the coming sessions, of course, we'll be going to security, and that basically would also answer a few questions there as well.
Yeah, that's correct. So one, maybe to tease the next session, one product that can help you sort of protect your environment, even if it's a multi-vendor environment, is Aruba ClearPass, which is a network access solution product. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for the next sessions, because the next session we will be covering security.
Yeah, we are approaching an hour right now. Thank you everyone for their time. I know we got some very sad news. We reported our 21st death today from the COVID virus. Yeah, we're in lockdown in Barbados. You all guys are all aware of that. So we know that it's not a time really that we can worry about that. We have to press forward. This is a virus we have to live with. So I want to work and be available for all customers who are looking to become more efficient and use technology more in their environment to help with the COVID fight. So we have to fight with the vaccine. We also have to fight with the technology.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Thank
our
you.
heart goes out
I
to
see. I
the
see
family.
another question in the chat from Jason. So it says currently I have CloudTrack's access points installed at the ministry. And he is interested.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Don't hesitate to contact us, Jason. You would know your account manager, and we can also we can schedule a one-on-one, and we could take it from there. You know.
Awesome.
Perfect. That's great news. Well, Steven, thank you for arrange or organize this session today. Thank you to all the Aruba team also. I think we are arriving to the limit time, so thank you, Cindy. You
No problem.
knowledge for sharing that with us.
Yeah. So everyone, just stay safe and stay blessed. And we always I would alert at least the person